What do you do?
You know what? I can't even imagine teaching middle school without humor. And I find that some of that stuff is what makes my day. I love, and especially, learning some of the, like Abraham Lincoln was a wrestler. Stuff like that is just amazing to me.
When I do Wacky We-search classes that use the book and talk about the concepts, I always say you got to teach your kids to make smart jokes, not fart jokes. And we always laugh about that, and we pretend like that's a small idea, but you have to, through example, really show kids what smart humor looks like, because it's too easy to make a sound effect and laugh about it. It's too easy to make fun of someone and consider it to be funny. That smart humor needs to be taught and showcased through example, and if you're not willing to do that, you will run the risk, I think, of getting kids to write mean humor and dumb humor.
Well, see, I think it's absolutely possible to do. Plus, when you have a really great mentor text and great samples to show, kids will always go with that and follow those examples and those samples. And if you set that kind of climate in your classroom, that certain things are not okay, it just doesn't come up.
So you don't find it comes up that much in your class, really?
I don't mind that it does, because they'll ask things like, is this going to be okay? And I'll say, well, if you have to ask me if that's okay, what do you think I'm going to say? But just setting up that climate, I think, and showing them good examples, there's no doubt that you'll end up with things that you'll be proud of.
And maybe it's easier if you're a person who thinks in smart humor as the teacher, to be able to show kids what smart humor looks like. I know there are a lot of people who claim not to be funny at all, and I don't believe anyone is not funny. I think it's easier for some people to wear it on their sleeve than others. But that whole Abraham Lincoln was a wrestler notion, which I'm speaking of a report I wrote in first grade where my 3 facts on Abraham Lincoln were: he was born, he died, and he was a great wrestler. And how important me having that fact that he was a great wrestler. It was a personal fact that every time I learned something new about Abraham Lincoln later in life, that's a fact that I can always start with. I don't know when he was born anymore. I don't know when he died anymore, even though I wrote it in a report. But I do remember that he was a great wrestler. And what I can show to my kids is when I share that with them, I can show them what smart humor on that looks like. I picture Abraham Lincoln in leotards in a ring. That's not the wrestler he was, but that's what I try to explain to the kids, how I picture him pile driving Douglas in the Lincoln Douglas debates as part of that. And that's a ridiculous notion. It's not humor that's making fun of anyone. It's not humor that's body sound effect humor. It's smart humor, because it's juxtaposing a real fact with an imaginary perception of reality that I happen to have, and I can laugh at that. I think kids need to see that. And I think a good teacher knows how to show it to them. And what's nice about the book Wacky We-search is you have provided lots of very funny examples in there, many by students, many by you, and you got to be able to create your own example.